Ladies and gentlemen, dear distinguished guests, we would like to welcome you all for the first international conference for crops. This is the first one, and we hope that after 2 years we'll have another one. Of course, we know that agriculture faces a serious challenge in the year ahead. From a rapidly growing global population that will put increasingly strain on the world's food supply, to climate change and its effect on water availability and arable land, to concern about the environment and biodiversity. We need a suitable technology that can help the world face these challenges, such as using less water, increasing our land productivity to help fight global food insecurity and address the effects of climate change. The technology offered by crop scientists and genetic engineering have a long history of improving agriculture and play a critical role in addressing the challenges of today and tomorrow. GM crops are not the only answer, but the environmental benefits and high yield make them an option that farmers should have the freedom to choose. As we know, GM crops has now been applied to almost all forms of life, such as bacteria to animals. Since Vital crops were first commercialized in the US and other 5 countries in 1996, billions of people worldwide have consumed food derived from biotech crops without any recorded health hazard. Today, a total of 16.7 million farmers in 29 countries grow biotech crops on land area of 167 million hectares. Of course, developing countries grew about 50% of global biotechnology crops in 2011, according to ISA reports. And we expect that the developing country, as they are the main benefit from this technology, will grow more in the next 3 years. We have 97 fold increase in hectares from 1.7 million in 1996 to 1.460 million hectares in 2011. This makes biotechnology crops the fastest adapted crop technology in the history of modern technology. Of course, concern about possible negative effect on health and environment have proven to be unfounded. There is an ongoing debate over the safety of GM crops and other products that use genetic engineering. We hope that this conference will focus on issues involved in cultivating GM crops and governmental rules in regulating GM crops. We hope that it will be able to, that the conference will be able to provide fact-based information to policymakers, journalists, and wider public, and to show why farmers should have the freedom of choice that their counterparts in other countries are already existing. As scientists, it is our duty now to reflect the right image of GM crops for the public. We hope that you will have a successful and comfortable stay in Egypt. First of all, I would like to invite Dr. Ahmed Nadeem, the Dean of Faculty, to open the meeting.
Good morning. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cairo and the first international conference for GM crops. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining the conference and special thanks to the sponsors of this conference. The conference will be organized by Faculty of Agriculture, Cairo University, and the International Society of GM Crops. wish you all the fruitful and fruitful conference and hope that you all have time to enjoy the city of Cairo with beautiful weather. I would like to ask the President and State Vice President of Cairo University to give their following speech. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Professor Hossein Kelmet, the President of Cairo University, to inaugurate this scientific gathering, which we are honored to host the Faculty of Agriculture. Welcome to Cairo and to the first international conference for GM crops and food, organized by our Faculty of Agriculture in partnership with the International Society of GM Crops. As you all know, nowadays, biotechnology offers opportunities for developing human welfare activities. With the development of genomic research, biotechnology became a major force for development in all countries. It contributes to solving problems concerning food and water insecurity that impede national development and threaten peace in developing world. In the development countries where population growth exceeds food supply, agriculture and especially plant biotechnology techniques need to be implemented. Today's achievements in plant biotechnology have already surpassed all previous expectations. And the future is even more promising, we hope. It is well known that agricultural biotechnology revolution depends on its continuous success of research and the innovative solution that would be provided for all mankind. In addition to a favorable regulatory climate and public acceptance. This scientific gathering aims at informing all interested parties about the activities of agricultural plant biotechnology, food safety, and biosafety regulations, the involvement of farmers in the activities of this conference to discuss their experiences and expertise in cultivating GM crops will give opportunity to build a bridge for technology transfer between farmers and researchers for efficient applications and safe use of biotechnology modified products. The conference provides an international forum to discuss the current role of GM crops and should stimulate researchers, industry, and government professionals to seriously face the challenges that threat agriculture in Egypt. We are pleased to have outstanding experts in the field of biotechnology from all over the world today to participate in the different sessions of the conference. It is expected this event will contribute to research and development through 5 aspects. First, exchange of knowledge among scientists, from different cultures and backgrounds on the issue of the use of biotechnology. Second, expose Egyptian scientists to the latest advances in biotechnology, biosafety, and genetic modifications. Three, build a bridge between Egyptian scientists and private sectors at national and international levels through joint research, exchange of visits, joint publications. Fourth, enhance the teaching and research capacities. And fifth, the participating visitors from all over the world to see the campus of the Faculty of Agriculture and to visit also the main campus of Cairo University. We hope that this conference provides an international forum to discuss the current role of GM crops and should stimulate researchers, industry, and government professionals to seriously face challenges that threaten agriculture. This international conference enjoys the participation of outstanding experts. We hope that their contribution to the activities of this conference will be fruitful for all parties concerned. I believe that this gathering will be of multiple and invariable significance, as participants will have the opportunity to exchange their experiences and expertise to establish a possible collaboration between individuals and their institutions as well. Before I finish, I would like to thank the organization committee of this conference for their hard efforts, led by Dr. Nagla Abdallah, which I would like to give a hand for her, and their team. Finally, I wish you all a successful and pleasant stay in Cairo and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred, for the last speech. And we would like to introduce Mr. Weston Amr Ramadan, instead of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to give his speech.
Good morning, everyone. Let me first apologize on behalf of Minister Mohammed Kamran, Minister of Foreign Affairs, for receiving an invitation to be with participating opening of this important conference today. But unfortunately, he couldn't be with us due to other commitments, and he has asked me to come and join him in this gathering. I won't have a prepared statement, so I would like to share some ideas with you on this issue, especially from my background. I'm the Deputy Assistant Minister for OIC, NAM, and United Nations Specialized Agencies. Our work as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on this has to do, probably related to this conference, with the Rome-based organizations, FAO, IFAD, and World Food Program. The issue of this meeting, I guess, is quite important. I don't need to say this to such a gathering. I see my leaders and prominent figures that we used to learn from on this issue. But what I wanted to share with you is that probably 12 years ago, when the issue of GM started to be on the rise and on discussion, safety issues and so on, at that time there was a case in the World Trade Organization between Egypt and China regarding genetically modified soybean, which was used in the tuna cans, or the tuna fish. And the issue was brought to the WTO because Egypt at that time had put some measures, trade measures against the importation of such thing. Right. And the discussion started at the WTO, World Trade Organization, and strangely enough, the problem or the issue between the United States, for example, on one side, and the European Union on the other side, was not brought to the WTO. Both trade blocs didn't want to raise this issue at the WTO to avoid any jurisprudence on the issue until science is developed and probably both have a better understanding of the issue before having rule-making in the WTO. But two developing countries, Egypt and Thailand, at that time brought the issue for discussion. Anyway, this issue was resolved without going into a final decision. It was resolved through consultation between Egypt and Thailand. And as far as I understand or remember, Egypt was not party to any dispute case regarding GMO. Especially there was another case later between the United States and I guess one another country that there was rumor that Egypt would join. In that case, then it was not an accurate description, and we haven't joined. Now, 12 years later, I see from the previous statements that science has developed. I'm not from a scientific background, cultural background, but I can see how the speakers are quite forthcoming on the GM. We used to learn from professors such as Ahmed Al-Sibir and others on the horizontal and vertical expansion in agriculture given the limited land or at least limited cultivated land as well as water resources and so on. So I wish this conference a success. I can see there is a number of important issues in the program related to safety, related to the regulatory mechanism, related probably to application as well. So I think there is a lot that we can all learn from this, especially myself, from this conference, and I wish you every success.
Give the talk instead of the Minister of Agriculture. Of course, we know the Fanania, she's in our faculty, so we consider her a member to come. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of His Excellency, the Minister of Agriculture and Land Recreation, Dr. Salah Abdel Mohamed, wish to extend his apologies for not being able to be with us among us today because of an urgent commitment. He also wishes you a successful conference and to our guests traveling from different parts of the world to participate in this event and to share their experiences and enjoy the stay in Thailand. With no doubt, the issue on genetically modified crops is still controversial. Even though 17 years commercialization and planting of these crops has failed. Since the 80s of the last century, the Egyptian Ministry of Agriculture has realized the importance and potential of biotechnology applications in achieving sustainable agriculture by addressing different constraints such as limited resources in land and water, in addition to biotic and abiotic stresses, and lately the effect of climate change. I would like to acknowledge the presence of those who engineered these negotiations and who established a deal and also the biosafety committee, Dr. Martin Duterte and Dr. Martin. At that time, negotiations with the United Nations Development Program resulted in a project that established a state-of-the-art agriculture genetic engineering institute in 1990 to transfer molecular biology technology, build capacities to achieve high caliber craft in what was then considered a new scientific field. Subsequently, the support of USAID through the NARC and MSIP projects to ADIRI strengthened that research, the research activities through collaboration with US universities and provided several PhD fellowships
Their holders are now leading the research programs at AGIL. At the same time, several universities and research institute centers have ongoing research in different disciplines in the area of biotechnology. The question then arises, with all this background, why is Egypt not in the forefront in the African continent in the adoption of biotech drugs? Taking in consideration that the regulatory framework for the National Biosafety Committee existed since 1995, based on ministerial decrees and follows the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety since its ratification in 2003. The NBC is composed of representatives from the Ministries of Agriculture, Health, Industry, Higher Education and Scientific Research, the Egyptian Environmental Affairs Agency, and the Foreign Affairs, in addition to a number of experts and non-technical members, NGOs. A Lot 5 biosafety law has been formulated by participants from different ministries starting from 2005 and has been presented by the Ministry of Environment, the State Ministry of Environment, to the Cabinet Ministries and has been approved in 2011 and ready to be presented to the Parliament for endorsement once the Parliament is elected. Meanwhile, there is a lot of misconception among the public as a whole on the subject of genetically engineered crops. Therefore, a dire need for public awareness programs targeting specifically policymakers, intellectuals, farmers, agricultural extensionists, among others. So I commend the organizers of this conference, which will provide insights on the technology, legal frameworks on biosafety, and the experiences of nations and farmers in this field. Lastly, I wish you a successful meeting and fruitful outcomes of your deliberations, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tania. Now I would like to ask Dr. Yusri Hashim, the Vice President of Qatar Hygiene, and who is also the Vice Director of the conference. So,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear guests from all over the world, welcome in Cairo. Actually, I'm going in few minutes to represent the public and hope that the conference will answer the questions of our public. Our producers and consumers actually nowadays ask me, what's about the biosafety of GMO crops? It's very important to know, and we have to convince them that there is no side effect from the GMO crops. This is the first one. The second one, the world population nowadays reached up 7 billion people. Are we able to feed them? This is also another question. And last but not least, one issue is very important. How we can be able to change the way of thinking of the people. This is the most important thing. We are going to convince farmers, producers, consumers that there is no problem to produce or consume GM crops, GM foods. Are we able at the end of this conference to convince our public, our farmers, our consumers that we will be able to change their way of thinking, to go further in such scientific work and also to be able to feed the world population? This actually, in few words, I would like to raise them to be able to answer them at the end of the day. Thank you very much. I wish you a fruitful meeting.
thank you, Dr. Yusri. I would like to ask to thank our distinguished eminent guests that came from all over the world, the United States, Canada, the country, although the difficult situation that we have here in Egypt and the risk and pain. Thank you very much for participating in the conference. I'm sure that you'll make it very fruitful full and easy for us. And we would go to ask you for two things. This is the first international conference for the society, so we have a society. We would like to nominate the director of the society by the end of the conference. If we would like to nominate his want to be the president. And the second thing that we want to choose which country after 3 years that we can host this conference. So if anyone would like to be the president of the society, that would be an honor for us. The door is open until the last day, so we can make an election. And also we would like to know which country is winning. We hope it is the Belgian country. And thank you very much for the attendance, and we hope that you enjoy the conference and your stay in Egypt. Thank you. I think it's better for now, before everyone leaves, we can have a photo for the group, so we can have everyone as there in the photos, because I'm sure that a lot of them have other obligations. So if we can have a photo outside, that would be nice, that everyone will be in the photo, and then we start directly